Hey everyone, it's me, Dirty Honey. And so today I was thinking about how we strengthen ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our whatever, our understandings. And they have something in common that I think is very interesting. So, for example, when you exercise, you're basically like, if you're doing heavy lifting or exercises like lifting weights or something, what you're doing is you're straining that muscle, and it actually rips the muscle and tears it. It pulls on it so hard that little rips happen in your muscle fibers or whatever, and then your body comes back and heals it even stronger. And that's how your muscles grow, because it rips and heals. Rip, heal, rip, heal. And so when you're doing that, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger and more capable of moving heavy objects or whatever, doing things that require strength. And so you used that pulling or ripping and repairing to gain strength. And then something else that we do that similar thing with is yoga. With stretching, you're really just pulling those muscles, and I don't know that they actually rip. There might be a little bit of that in there, but for the most part, you're relaxing them and stretching and just pulling them all the way out so that they can really open up all the little fibers and I can't think of I think they're muscle fibers, whatever they're called. Everything just kind of just pulls up, and then when you release it, it just goes into this full relaxation. It got used in a way that it's, when you're using your muscle to pick something up, it's tensioning that muscle. And then when you do stretching, it pulls it the opposite direction and really just pulls it all the way out. And then when you let go of that pull, it goes into full relax mode and feels awesome. And you get this extra benefit out of that stretching relaxation, and then you get better circulation. You have this connection between mind and physical body. It's just a huge growing thing that helps you grow as a being. And it gives you the ability to touch your toes and do more flexible. It gives you more flexibility. So you gain flexibility by pulling and stretching those things to their limit. And then that limit continues to go further, and the longer you do your yoga over time, you become more and more flexible, and your limits of stretching and touching your toes become easier, and now you can touch the floor, and now you can put your palm on the ground. Next thing you know, you're standing on steps and still touching the ground, so you can gain flexibility by doing that extreme or that maximum pull and release on your muscles through yoga. Another thing that we practice similarly, where we strain ourselves or ultra focus ourselves to gain something, is studying in school or learning. When you're trying to figure out a technique or a concept or a theory or your mathematics or whatever it is that you're trying to figure out or learn, the studying process is real strenuous and real tedious and real stretching your brain to its maximum ability to absorb that information. And all that absorption of information, kind of like a sponge filling with water, creates it creates a more rich brain or whatever. It's now got more information and is a wiser brain, can figure out more problems or whatever it learned. And now it's more capable because of that hard work or stretching of your ability to focus on the task at hand to its maximum. After that's done, you gain a benefit from it. And so I've been doing a lot of meditation lately. And meditation is another one that falls into this category of stretching your mind, or one of your abilities to its maximum, and then gaining benefit from that stretching or pulling or opening or focusing. Okay, meditation is freaking awesome. Okay, I did a video recently about my journey. It's called My Journey to whatever, Universal Connection or some shit. It's kind of a long video, but dude, man, I had this meditative experience that made me want to do that video. Meditation is super powerful. I'll put a link in the description to that. But meditating, basically what happens what you're doing is stretching your mind. This invisible thing, when you're learning, you have your brain, which I guess is kind of like an invisible feature in your brain, the learning thing. It's not like you can learn, but you can touch your brain. And so I guess your mind is of your brain, I think. I don't know, man. Maybe your mind is of your spirit, potentially. Who knows? Or a combination of the two. But physically lifting and exercising is part of your physical body that you can touch, your muscles, right? And stretching, same thing. That's your muscles that you're using your mind to relax and gain control of. And so meditation uses your mind, which is kind of just your mind. There's not really any body part necessarily that you can touch that is actually stretching out. Similar to learning, where you're kind of stressing and working really hard to squeeze that information into your brain and remember it. Meditation is kind of a little bit it's kind of like learning, but a little bit different, because you don't really have a physical piece of book or something that you're reading in front of you as a guide. So you're just using your mind 100%, and that whole using your mind 100% to attain something is in itself a stretching of the mind, or a focusing of the mind, or a reaching of the mind to go places that you haven't been yet in your mind. And so my personal meditation that I practice involves stretching my presence out into space in a sphere shape, from my position on Earth out into space, as far as my mind will allow me to go, and recognize myself in space while still seeing or feeling or experiencing, I can't explain it really, the space within that sphere. And it becomes something that almost feels physical in my mind and my brain and my body when I get to that point where I feel like I'm actually encompassing all of that space, and I'm like a part of that. It really feels like it's actually stretching something in my mind, like beyond what it was before I started the meditation. And then when the meditation is over with, I gain something, some kind of an understanding or a peace or an enlightenment or something. I don't know what the right word is, but some kind of connection with myself and or the universe is what I kind of am trying to achieve when I do my meditation. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, how the pulling, stretching, maximized use of ourselves typically returns with benefit to us. And one of the things that is also a stretching of the mind, or an opening into a portion of your mind that you're not necessarily always in, kind of like when you're learning or meditating or yoga or exercising, you're in your own little zone, your world, trying to make it a bigger place or whatever, a more capable place, is psychedelics. those open things and allow you or help you focus that meditation energy or ability and streamline that and just blow it wide open to where you can really stretch your mind and experience things that you wouldn't have been able to experience without the psychedelic enhancement. But those are things that will also really widen your ability to see things in a different way and understand yourself and know who you are, because those psychedelics will typically remove all the ugly from you and really kind of clear the humanity or whatever out of your mind so that you can focus on your spirit or your presence or your purpose or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure it's different for everybody, but that's another thing that will prove it. You know, it can go both ways, but it can help you to stretch your mind to its maximum, and then when the stretching is done with, you really learn or gain something from it. And so I just thought that was really interesting, how all these techniques that we use to gain personal worth or ability or whatever are all using something that stretches or pulls or maximizes what we already have to its full extent, as far as we can take it, and then we relax, and our body, mind, spirit, whatever, fills in that gap that we opened up by stretching, and allows us to use whatever we stretched to a greater extent or more, better. I don't know what the right word is. I'm drawing a blank there, but you know what I'm saying. It allows you to have a better control or a greater ability because of that stretching to the maximum, and or sometimes even ripping and tearing to gain strength in your muscles. And who knows if you're actually ripping and tearing your mind when you do these mental techniques like meditating. So one thing that you should always do and use as your mantra is to be nice. Okay, meditate on that. That's going to be a really good thing no matter what. Be nice. Listen to 91.5 FM on the radio, KUSC.org on the internet, and that will help you be nice. And you can do that while you're working out. You can do that while you're yogaing. You can listen to it while you're meditating. You can listen to it on psychedelics. Dude, this stuff goes with everything. It's the best. Doesn't get any better. Thank you, all you awesome composers and stuff who made that kick-ass music, and 91.5 for putting it out there for us for free. No commercials. So that's it, man. Watch all the other videos. Like them. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends about how kick-ass Dirty Honey is. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.